Hello dear Sun, Moon and Rising sign Capricorns. I am Michaela. Welcome to my astrology channel Todayenergy, and this is your monthly astrological forecast for the upcoming month of August. So let's see what does it have in store for you dear Capricorns. Well, the first days of the month are quite exciting, at the very least to say, because we have a triple conjunction in Taurus. That is Mars, who wants action, Uranus, who wants freedom, liberation, and brings some exciting news and unexpected events, and Rahu, the karmic lunar node, who talks about the future, who is magnifying everything, who is very hungry and thirsty for development as well. So all this is in your fifth house, and fifth house is a beautiful area of the horoscope because it talks about love and pleasure. Fifth house is our hobbies, our business, our children, and our romantic relationships. As well, by fifth house go all sorts of risky endeavors, investments and adventures. So you should be careful, Capricorn. Normally you're very reasonable people, and I know what will be stopping you actually from extreme risks and just falling in love suddenly and unexpectedly. I'll mention it in a moment, but yeah, in this case, if we talk about Capricorns who have their own business, who are freelancers, or maybe you want to become a freelancer really, so here is your chance. Also, maybe you are meeting the right business partners, clients, because Uranus rules technologies and internet. So maybe you are finally opening a website, establishing a blog or YouTube channel, and start promoting yourself. Maybe you're falling in love suddenly with some very extraordinary people with from different cultures, from different social background, people who are completely opposing you, people who are freedom seekers, freedom lovers, digital nomads. Maybe you become a digital nomad. And of course, maybe there's sudden news about children, or sudden news from your children. Maybe they suddenly tell you that they're getting married or they're relocating somewhere. On the 7th, though, we have a little bit of cooling down of all this crazy enthusiasm and thirst for progress and change, because Mars in your fifth house squares your own ruler, Saturn, currently being in Aquarius, currently being retrograde in your second house. Now, Capricorns, I think you might be interested to see my video on my channel, especially dedicated to Saturn this year, retrograding for 4 months in Aquarius, because it's your ruler, it's your energy, you feel it the most really. So check it out. Saturn will station to go direct in the autumn. In this case, of course, it's a clash of energies because Mars wants action, progress, maybe even some conflicts here are with your loved ones or children. But Saturn asks us for patience and for dedication, for efforts, to think twice, 3 times, many times before acting. Maybe you want children with your partner. Maybe you want to quit your job and establish your own online business. Maybe you want to take as a hobby paragliding or skydiving, but Saturn in second house is like, are you sure you're going to handle it financially? Or also, second house is not only about work and money, which primary it is, of course, but also it's about self-esteem. So unfortunately, Saturn is a bit tough on himself and on others. It's the inner critic, it's the inner parent who is always protecting you, who is not allowing you to try, to risk, to, try new things. So, of course, these things must be in balance. The inner child, as per the fifth house, who is like, yeah, I want bungee jumps. And Saturn in the second, who is like, well, what about our work? We have to first finish the work project. We have to get the salary. And being retrograde, there might be some delays in your incomes, maybe some delays in your work projects. Or maybe there is so much work that you feel so tired and exhausted. Or maybe you need to work on your self-esteem in order to ask for bigger salary, in order to value your contribution, your knowledge and work and efforts more. Don't worry, the final resolution about your finances, about having children, about business and work will come most probably in the autumn, when there will be the final square between Saturn and Uranus, the big showdown, I call it. Well, on the 4th, Mercury goes into Virgo, that's your 9th house. So Mercury is about studies and traveling, and 9th house is about faraway lands, people from abroad, education, studying, publishing, sharing your knowledge with others, meeting teachers, mentors, coaches, becoming one such. So that's a good time, and the wind is so strong now. Right. Then on the 9th, we have a little bit more intense day. Venus from Cancer opposes Pluto in your sign. In the global scale, Venus represents traditionally money, finances, women, and Pluto, of course, can be about control, manipulation, violence, everything we don't want to share and talk about, everything people are afraid of, ashamed of, taboo topics. But also Pluto is about big money and business. So maybe there will be news about strong women in politics, in power, in business. But also there might be revelations about abuse of women. Last but not least, in the public space, this combination, this opposition might give revelation about financial scandals, money laundering, with involvement of mafia, of government, of secret, like this shadow government, business and bank systems. But in your case, it's an opposition between you and your partners, 1st and 7th house. And Capricorns, I must tell you that Pluto is in your house. So you're the detective, you're the godfather, you are the one who pulls the strings. And usually you are, of course, not, I'm not implying that you're a manipulative type of a person, but in this case you might be over controlling, you might be over pushy, you might be over stubborn. Pluto has this Scorpio energy, right? It's about stubbornness. Of course, it gives you an extreme stamina, willpower to achieve something, to push through negotiations. And that's great because Venus is money and Pluto is big money. So around the 9th, you can sign some contracts and do some very powerful, lucrative deals that can bring you a lot of success, power, money. But of course, with every opposition, the best is to find the balance, the golden middle. And Venus is actually a very diplomatic planet. So while Venus is in your 7th house, it is time for love. It is time to spend good quality time with your partner, to pamper them, or they try to show you love. So, you know, you're like a rock, like this rock in the middle of the ocean, which is great. You might bring stability to yourself or to your partner, but maybe also Pluto wants you to transform, to change something in your principles. You see, Pluto is for the last year in your sign, then he will move to Aquarius for something like 20 years. So it's last moments for personal transformation and transformation of your status and relationships, I would say. So maybe, maybe here you're dealing with business partners, or love partners, but you have the upper hand, so try not to be too controlling, pushy, and suffocating even. By the way, this opposition is like a full moon, which means that there was a moment of these two planets conjunct like a new moon, when the seeds were planted of whatever is going on now, whatever is reaching a culmination, a fruition, an ending even possibly. And maybe this is something that have started for you December 2021 or even March this year or in between, because back then Venus was conjuncting Pluto in your sign, in your 1st house, for 3 times. That's significant. So either you were starting some business deals, negotiations, contracts, relationship, or you were starting something personal. 1st house at the very least is our body, is our health. So maybe you started some fitness plan, some exercises, maybe a partner work, maybe you hired a personal trainer, a woman. And now here you reach an end to your cooperation. Maybe you have reached the desired body shape or health condition. Maybe it's a nutritionist coach, because Pluto in the first is great for eliminating toxins and getting rid of bad habits. So maybe you have achieved it, or now you see the results, and now you see whether you need to change your diet or training plans or not. Okay, on the 11th, Venus goes into Leo, and that's 8th house for you. So money planet goes into financial area. That's good. 8th house is passive income. It's income based on your family, property, income of family, of partner, of spouse, maybe someone supporting you financially. Maybe it's the government or the university by giving you a loan, by giving you a credit, or you're joining with a friend in a business, and both of you are investing something into your common business. So now this can give you some good results. And of course, Venus is love, and 8th house is intimate relationship, trust between partners, shared resources, living together, having a child together. So maybe that's on the table for you. Also, maybe you're investing money in esoterics, astrology, or psychology. Maybe you will be studying, or you want to attend a private consultation with an astrologer. On the 12th, we have a full moon at 19 degrees of Aquarius. This is your 2nd house. So full moon means culmination at work projects, paying yourself a salary, seeing clearly where you stand regarding budget and work and self-esteem as well. But the moon conjuncts your ruler, Saturn, retrograde here. So Saturn is usually, and especially being retrograde, ask us to be patient, to just work hard, not give up. Kind of, be well prepared, be reasonable, be discerning, be serious, adult, and mature regarding your work and finances. At the same time, the lunation squares Uranus and the North Node in your 5th house. So this inner child of yours wants adventures, wants love, wants to fall in love and to spend crazy holidays. Maybe you want really a private business. Maybe your partner wants some kind of change and excitement in your relationship, some fresh air, Maybe there will be a separation with the partner or with the child. The child will go its own way to study, to work somewhere abroad, to live with a partner. On the 20th, Mars goes into Gemini, and that's your 6th house. Mars likes to be in the 6th house because Mars is a very efficient planet. It wants action and solving problems. And 6th house is about problems. It's about helping someone, repairing something, whether a vehicle or doing repairment works in your home, property, office. 6th house is about work and health. So work-wise, you will put a lot of energy into work. Maybe there will be discords, Mars fighting with colleagues, with employees, especially with people who usually are supposed to help you. At the same time, maybe they will be very proactive, But also 6th house is health. And Mars is usually represents sharp objects, a scissor, a knife. So maybe there will be some intervention or operation, or maybe you will decide to cut off bad habits, smoking, drinking, lack of sleeping. You have to be like a soldier with yourself, but a discipline. Mars would like to be, of course, disciplined, and Capricorns are well known with their discipline overall. But here the discipline is not to burn out. Good for sport, good for exercises, jogging, running, fitness, martial art, Tai Chi. What's interesting? Mars usually spends 2 months in each sign by transit, but because he will be retrograding this year, he will be overall 7 months in Gemini, in your 6th house. So there will be 7 months of hard job, of a lot of energy into repairing things, into dealing with daily problems, helping people, arranging stuff. So yeah, be careful not to burn out. But that's why it's good to have strict organization, strict regime that would give you enough rest and sleep, and at the same time for exercises. On the 23rd, the sun goes into Virgo, that's your 9th house. The sun is, of course, the attention, leadership skills, creativity, success, helpful people, and in this case, 9th house is teaching, studying, traveling, court matters, documents, paperwork. So sun here can be people who can help you, lawyers, judges, teachers, mentors, coaches, or you might become such person and gain authority and popularity. On the 24th, Uranus stations to go retrograde in Taurus, in your 5th house. Uranus is a slow planet, so the stationing moment is actually extended to a couple of weeks. So let's call it the second half of August will be very Uranian in a public space. Because when a planet is stopped, doesn't move any direction, it's like preparing to give birth, or it's like preparing to jump, but it's not yet, right? So there is a tension, there is static electricity in the air, because Uranus rules the sky, lightnings, internet, electricity. We have to be careful with our electronic devices, gadgets, passwords online, cryptocurrency. Uranus in a public sphere can give revolutions, riots, people are unhappy, they are unhappy with money, finances, financial security is disrupted, supply chains are disrupted, food. So maybe there will be news about genetics, about scientific discoveries. Uranus is also about aviation, the space, astrology and astronomy. So some breakthroughs, technically and scientifically, in the very best case. In your 5th house, of course, that means really strong passion with your partner, really surprising decisions and news from your children, unexpected pregnancy. It can be a beginning or an end of a business or a business partnership. You see, Uranus usually wants freedom, liberation, authenticity, self-sufficiency. So that's why I'm talking that here might be some breaks, separations with loved ones, with children, with business partners. You might go your own way. You might do some business which involves modern technologies or astrology. Or it might be just a hobby, really. You might start studying astrology, Reiki healing, something working with psychology, with energy, with the nervous system, by the way, as well. On the 26th, Mercury goes into Libra, that's your 10th house. That's a great transit for business deals and negotiations, as well as business trips. On the 27th, there is a new moon at 4 degrees of Virgo. That's your 9th house. So popularity, new teachers and mentors in your life, new worldview for you, new faith, religion, discovering new knowledge that might change your perspective, opening up for the world, new travels. This new moon is quite agitated because it squares Mars in your 6th house of work and health. So maybe that's a health coach you discover. The ruler of this new moon is Mercury. He's in your 10th house, talking about business or work status, and he trines Mars in your 6th house. Mercury trines Mars. That's a great day for all of us, for sharp thinking, for clear self-expression, for being assertive, for demanding clearly what you want and people clearly understanding you, not aggressively, but assertively. That's great. And smart actions as well. Good. So on the 27th, 28th, let's call it the last days of the month, Venus in Leo, in your 8th house, opposes your ruler Saturn, retrograding in your 2nd house. So we're talking about financial matters, the balance to look for between give and take, between what I owe to the country, the government, as taxes, for example, to the bank, or what they owe me. Maybe your people to whom you gave credit or help, support, now they need to return the favor and the money to you. Saturn wants you to work hard. Second house is work, is working for your money. Venus is keen to give you presents and support by others, even by your own spouse or partner or your family. So there is a need to find balance here. There is a need to find balance between your fears and this reasonable doubts. Am I good enough? Should I prepare more? Should I work more for the hard days to come? You know, the cold winter is coming. Winter is coming, so we have to be prepared. Or should I just give in to passion and pleasures? And basically, the contradiction between this axis, well, kind of the financial axis, comes to a third planet, because both Venus and Saturn make a square to Uranus in your 5th house in Taurus. So Uranus, of course, at the moment being stationed, it's a huge impatience to go, let's say, freelancing, or to become pregnant and go on maternity leave, or to be with your loved ones. And that's why you are working and spending money on something common, shared, let's say house or property, or preparing to become a parent. Some investment possibly you're looking for. You work and you at the same time you look for investments into your own hobby and business. Remember, the final resolution will most likely come this autumn. Well, dear Capricorns, that's how the month looks like for you. Thank you so much for watching, liking, sharing my videos with your loved ones. I hope the information which I select and prepare and provide you with is interesting and useful for you. Thank you so much for subscribing to my channel, which makes our small community grow slowly but surely, which is fantastic. I'm so proud and so happy. I wish you a wonderful, brilliant, interesting, exciting, successful month of August. Take care of yourselves, and I will talk to you soon. Bye bye.